Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. 5 prototypes, almost 2 years of development, countless agonizing teases, and I'm still struggling to believe anybody would ever offer me the chance to spec out a limited edition model, let alone that it's actually done. But it's here. It's finally here, and it is amazing. The specs are unreal. It feels incredible. This is just legitimately my go-to guitar now. Let's take a closer look. So there were 3 main goals with this project. 1, to get literally as much guitar as possible into an affordable price point. Incredible feel and high-level specs right out of the box at an accessible level. That was priority number 1. Number 2, to make it look good and interesting to any guitar player to pick up and make their own. Whether you like the style of music I play or you've heard of my channel, doesn't matter, I don't care about that. I wanted to create an instrument for fans of the guitar. And 3, to make sure it was unique and different from anything else on the market. When it comes down to it, guitars are tools to create music, and we wanted to make something available at an accessible price that would inspire whoever picked it up to create their own art. And with unique specs to inspire in a different way than if you picked up any other guitar out there. So those 3 criteria in mind, this guitar was born. So I'll give you the TLDR first before I do a deep dive into the specs and why we went in certain directions. €499, limited to, I think the original plan was 200 units. I could be wrong, but not many. Made in Indonesia, mahogany body, proper carved swamp ash cap, set through roasted flame maple neck with a modern C shape, ebony fingerboard, 12-inch radius and 25-inch scale length, stainless steel extra jumbo frets, Graphtec Tusk XL nut, glow-in-the-dark side dots, Korean WSC hardware and strap locks, Grover locking tuners, and a pair of completely custom-voiced Roswell pickups we've named the Seraphim set. The neck is relatively low output for warm leads and cleans, and then the bridge is a medium output custom blend of ceramic and Alnico magnets, so you get that articulation and clarity even when pushed with what most consider an unreasonable amount of gain. Satin finish on all the wood, brushed metal finish for all the hardware, for that quick, sleek look and feel. All of that for €499. And these don't ship factory direct. Every unit is inspected and set up by the Thomann QC team in Germany right before they ship out. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Link in the description if you want to check out the product page or stick around for more details. and we'll go into why we went with certain things. Probably too much detail for most people, but I love this thing. It's genuinely the guitar that I go to now over my more expensive ones. I could talk about it forever. Now bear in mind that the ones I'm showing here are the final pre-production prototypes, which are essentially the same in every single way to the production models, no spec or design changes. The only difference is that the wood isn't quite as figured on these. We didn't want to waste the nicest woods on the prototypes. We wanted to save them for the production run that would go out to you guys. So keep that in mind. As nice as the prototypes look, the production models should look nicer. We wanted to make sure that everybody who wanted one got one before I took another for myself. But basically, the entire premise is a modern single cut built with the modern player in mind. So I'm a big fan of chunky, heavy guitars, but I know not everyone is. So the body is slightly thinner compared to your traditional single cut, and also the swamp ash cap instead of maple decreases that weight a little bit too. It's not super light and flimsy, but if you're worried that it'd be a backbreaker, don't be. It's solid, but a comfortable weight. Then the carved swamp ash cap with the purple natural stain and black grain filler. That was one of the first things that I was insistent on. It's standard procedure to put a maple cap on there, and we could have done that, but that's been done to death. I love the look of a highly figured swamp ash top and how each piece is so different. So every guitar in this limited production run, the specs are the same, but at the same time, each one is unique. Like if you pick one up, that is your guitar. And then this dark purple is such a cool color. The knobs are recessed into the body. To be honest, that's not something I initially even thought about doing. But then the first prototype showed up with the controls recessed into the cap, and it was like, well, that just makes so much sense. So instead of being at weird angles following the arch of the body or being placed super high, they're level and low profile. Looks good and it's functional. I mean, it's just elegant. Then the roasted flame maple neck. Had to do the roasted, it just feels great and it's so useful for neck stability. Being in Georgia where we have near daily climate shifts, neck stability was a must. And then it was like, well, no one else is really doing a roasted flame maple neck on a single cut, let alone one in this price range, so let's do that. Why not? Limited production run didn't really increase the cost, and it's something special we could add to this €499 guitar. Matching headstock, ebony truss rod cover. I didn't want this to be like a billboard advertisement for my YouTube channel or anything, so there are just two small hints that this is a signature model. This little guy on the front, because my last name means angel in German, and the little mola mola on the back near the flute, because I don't know, it's cute. Then this fingerboard is ebony. The way ebony looks and feels, how it's dark and smooth, just feels right on a single cut. No inlays, give it a cleaner look. And to make sure you don't get lost, the side dots glow in the dark for easy navigation, even in low light situations. So those are the materials. Now let's talk the appointments. Again, we've thrown just about everything we could into this to make it the best guitar possible at this accessible price point. So to that end, we've got Korean WSC hardware. The Tune-o-matic and Stoptail are solid. And a solid, substantial bridge is very important to me because the majority of my playing revolves around the chugs. You can't chug with a weak-ass bridge. Grover Rotomatic locking tuners. I mean, Grover's been in the game forever because they're so reliable, and locking is just super convenient for quick restringing. So of course we had to go with those. Love the big, substantial thumb screws as well. Graphtec Tusk Nut. I've called Graphtec the Nut Masters on numerous occasions. Well cut, permanently lubricated. They're found on even higher end guitars because they are just that good. So combined with the roasted flame maple neck, when it comes to tuning stability, every prototype, every iteration of this guitar has just had rock solid tuning stability. And the brushed metal was also a decision made very early on. To me, it feels nicer and also looks sleeker and more contemporary. I mean, it just made sense on a modern style single cut. It makes the bridge, the tuners, the strap locks, even the toggle switch that much more satisfying. And you know, specs are all good and everything, but when it comes down to it, the real artistic value of a guitar is determined by feel. And that's the hardest part to convey across a YouTube video, but it's just incredible. It's not just good for the money, it's just straight up good. Satin thin C neck. The fingerboard binding's been slightly rounded so it's not sharp and looks nice. Scale length is 25 inches. One of the big complaints about a lot of single cuts in general is that scale lengths tend to be a bit short for down tuning. So we've made it better for that and bends without changing the feel too much. Stainless steel frets, they're amazing. I still find it astounding that Harley Benton can put them on guitars this cheap. They're extra jumbo, so with a satin neck and ebony fingerboard, it's really quick. And not only that, but on every single prototype, the factory's done an amazing job with the fretwork itself. Level, well polished, round edges, flush with the fingerboard. Honestly, for something with my name attached, I would accept nothing less. If I wanted a quick paycheck, we would have released this thing a while ago, but we wanted to make sure that this was right. And on that front, we took time to make sure that the neck joint was right too. The downfall of a lot of single cuts are those big, blocky neck joints. Like, I'll actually throw out footage of the first prototype. It was kind of just like a sharp cliff where the neck met the body. And it was like, okay, well, I'm sure we can do better than that. So now we've got a carved, beveled, set-through joint, Really, really comfortable, just fits the hand perfectly. And continuing the theme of taking our time, that goes for the pickups too, and they are insane. And you may be saying, well, why did you go with Roswell? Aren't you always saying that Roswell pickups are just okay? Yeah, absolutely. I've never been totally impressed with the standard Roswell offerings. And that's why we decided to make a completely custom voice set specifically for this guitar. We're calling it the Seraphim set, and it is exclusive to just this model. The bridge is powered by a custom blend of Alnico and ceramic magnets, rated at about 13K, so like a mid-high outputty thing. We wanted the warmth of an Alnico, the cut of a ceramic, and low enough output to maintain clarity and articulation, even with the massive amounts of gain that I punish this guitar through. And this bridge is like the best of everything put together. Then the neck is more traditional, Alnico 5 and rated at about 8.9K, so relatively low output, but with enough juice to balance out with the bridge. It's just so nice for leads and cleans. So now let's hear what it all sounds like outside of a mix. I'm using the same amps and signal chain as I did for the demo, Peavey 6505 Plus, boosted with the Horizon Devices Precision Drive into Glenn Fricker's 4x12 Angle IR for dirty, and then the Marshall DSL 100H with the Boss DM2W in the effects loop with a 2 notes Silver 77 2x12 for the clean. Now, we could have gone with something else. There are a lot of amazing aftermarket pickups out there that I really like. But if we went that route, we'd have to compromise in other places, which was unacceptable, or raise the price, which was an option, but I didn't want to do. Plus, realistically, whatever we put in, there were always going to be people that wouldn't like it, so we figured, why not design it so you can make it your own? So it was like, all right, let's see if we can do something custom. It was definitely a challenge. It took a while, but I mean, the first time I plugged them in, it was like, wow. These are actually amazing. I mean, they surprised me. I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised too. I actually asked if we could do it without the Roswell logos like it is on the prototype. That way people would listen with their ears instead of their eyes. However, since this was a custom job, they wanted their logo on there, which is completely understandable. But if you aren't into them, the guitar's affordable enough, you can chuck them in the bin for whatever set you prefer. I promise I won't be too offended. So yeah, I think I've talked about this guitar enough now. I think you guys get the point. We set out to make one of the best spec guitars in this price range, with some little twists to make it unique. And I could not be prouder of the final result. €499, and it's just great out of the box. I mean, it's not just good for the money, it's a good guitar. I mean, every time I pick it up, it's inspiring, it's just riff central. Honestly, I'm still in disbelief that Harley Benton gave me, a freaking YouTuber, the opportunity to make this a reality. And with everyone stuck inside, we wanted to give you guys a new inspirational tool to create your art. And I'm so excited to finally get this into your hands and hear the music you make with it. So yeah, you can like and subscribe if you want to, but I think I've talked enough now, so I'm just gonna get out of your faces and get back to playing guitar. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for the support that made this possible, and thanks for watching this video. I'll see you for the next one.